And next, probably one of the very most important issues of our times is the Wanton, did I say that right? Wanton, the completely horrific destruction of our brothers and sisters of African American community. Please give it up for Celinda Gorora. She's with Black Lives Matter, and we're very honored to have her here.
Hello, everyone. So I had a lot of anxiety today, so please bear with me. First, I want to thank everybody who's out here today. The showing of solidarity for those that are suffering oppression. It's powerful to see all of our allies and accomplices out here standing with us. I am here to represent the 2.3 million behind the walls, the additional 6 million who are on probation and parole, and all the uncounted immigrants enslaved by the prison industrial complex. These systems of oppression are not new. The people of this land have not reconciled with the violent history that it was founded upon slavery and genocide. We must also recognize these systems of capitalism cannot exist without racism or oppression. The demand of capitalism has commanded a billion-dollar industry known as the prison industrial complex. And this state, New Mexico, is #1 in private prisons with 3 different prison contractors, CoreCivic, Geo, and Management and Training Corporations, with about 52% of our inmates housed in private prisons, where other states only average about 8%. It's big business here in New Mexico. These are 20-year-long contracts that demand 90% beds stay full. Our own government is manufacturing crime to meet this demand. Militarized police in our communities can continue to exert violence against communities of color and the poor, with modern-day lynchings at the hands of law enforcement practically a normal occurrence these days. These systems of slavery, lynching, and Jim Crow never ended. They only evolved into what we are seeing today. We must abolish these oppressive systems and build systems that respect all humanity.
Yes! Go, Celinda!
We must be creative and revolutionary when thinking about abolition. Our focus should be on restorative and reformative justice. We must change the narrative in this country about punishment. Harming those who have harmed only creates more violence. As a society, we should never be okay with state-sanctioned violence. It is a difficult conversation to be had that we suggest that we can create a society that does not use its government to perpetrate violence in the name of justice. Most importantly, harming someone who harms me using the apparatus of the state ensures infinite violence. Those behind the walls asked me to share their list of demands with you. These are the national demands of all those that are behind the walls of federal, state, and immigration prisons. #1, an immediate improvement in conditions that recognizes our humanity. 2, end prison slavery. Pay the prevailing industry wage for their labor.
Yes!
3, rescind the PLRA, the Prison Litigation Reform Act. 4, rescind Truth in Sentencing Act. No human shall be sentenced to death by incarceration. 5, an immediate end to racial overcharging, over-policing, and over-sentencing of people of color. 6, an immediate end to racist gang enhancement laws targeting the black and brown bodies of this country. 7, nobody should be denied access to rehabilitation. 8, transform punitive prison systems into rehabilitation centers. 9, reinstate Pell Grants and education access.
Yes.
10, fully restore voting rights, and end suppression for all those behind the walls and felons.
Yes! Yes!
I know it's a difficult conversation, but it can happen. We can create the society that we dream to be part of. I have a path that Brian Stevenson shared with us, and it's called the Recipe for Fairness and Justice. Everybody, put your fist in the air and make a commitment to fairness and justice. We will, number one, we will change the narrative of this country and of this conversation. We will protect humanity when we change that narrative. 2, we will do things that are uncomfortable.
Yes.
Justice and change never came from places of comfort. 3, proximity. Make a commitment to be proximate to those who are oppressed. Get close to those that are imprisoned. Get close to those living in poverty. Go to the schools that are struggling and suffering.
Yes.
And last and most importantly is number 4, hold hope. Because for so many of us, hope is all we have. Thank you.
Yes! Woo! Celinda!
Give it up for Celinda Guerrero.